This week's best MMA bets, we're talking UFC Vegas 77. I'm going to give you guys my most confident picks on the card, my favorite underdogs, and then the underdog lock of the week. We'll also talk a little bit about prop/value bets and then finish it out with the parlays. So make sure you guys smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, turn the post notifications on, and make sure to share the video as well. Let's first start it off with the most confident picks. I'll bring up first, I'll put them all on the screen actually, but the first one we'll talk about is going to be Jack Della Maddalena. And you're going to be like, yeah, he's a minus 500 favorite. I get it. This is the most confident picks. The lines are not the best value all the time with the most confident picks, but it's what I'm feeling great about. Jack Della Maddalena is going to win. I see him going out there and styling on an opponent who is so hittable and matches up on the feet horribly with Jack Della Maddalena. I think Maddalena is going to end up getting a pretty quick KO. Lines sitting in the minus 500-ish range. I see the line changing. I feel like JDM is going to swell even minus 700. I've seen it at minus 650. It's all over the place. JDM should get the win by knockout in this fight. And let's see if I can find the knockout prop here. Here we go. It's right in front of me. KO for JDM is not available. Excuse that. But the line is like minus 560, minus 600. So we just got money line. I'll tell you this. Even though I don't have the line in front of me, it doesn't matter. Jack Della Maddalena to win the fight by first round knockout seems extraordinarily live. The way that Basil fights, and he kind of brings some pressure forward, but when you're walking forward on a JDM who's just so much slicker than you, he's going to get pieced up and he's going to get knocked out in the first round. I respect him for taking this fight on short notice, Basil Hafez, but he's going to get ran over. It's JDM all day. He's a lock of the card, super confident pick. He's winning the fight. Next one, as far as the most confident pick sections, I guess I'll keep it with the high confidence bad lines. I got Azat Maksum around minus 400. Listen, he's fighting a Tyson Nam who's 39. He's 11 years younger. He's got really good straight punches. He has a wrestling base and grappling skills. I don't think that Tyson Nam, at nearly 40 years of age, is going to beat the 16-0 prospect on the come up. I see Maxim working a great jab. I see him finding punches. Nam just got ran over by Bueno Silva. I expect the same here. Maxim to win. Now, as far as the prop betting side, I feel like Maxim inside of the distance. Minus 120 inside of the distance is a really good prop bet to consider. It's not crazy wide. You're not looking at a minus 200 for being at minus 415. Minus 120, I mean, it's close enough to plus 100. I like minus 120 a ton. I have said I think Maxim's probably getting a KO at plus 200, but it's not impossible he subs him at plus 250. So knockout and sub are live for finishing methods by Maxim. Yes, minus 120 at inside distance doesn't give you the plus money that looks attractive to play and exciting. We're going to cash it and let's get the plus. At the end of the day, it's about hitting. And I think at minus 120, Maxim inside of the distance does probably hit. And it's way better than touching a minus 400 money line. But Maxim is definitely a good parlay piece for, like, the more longer extension parlays. We'll talk about that at the end. Azat Maxim, he's a prospect on the come up. His debut is going to be great, and I can't wait for it. Next, we got Melquizael Costa over Austin Lingo. I think that this is a super one-sided fight, and Austin Lingo is like extremely one-dimensional. He literally is pure boxing in MMA. Costa might not have as good pure boxing, but he's way better on the ground. He has a pretty efficient Muay Thai-esque kickboxing game on the feet. He's around a minus 205 favorite. I could see it at minus 300 and it wouldn't shock me. Costa is going to show a clear advantage in the grappling, and I think he strangles Lingo. So Costa to win via submission is my official method of victory prediction. That sits at plus 375. I think he's getting the rear naked choke. He'll get the back of Lingo and he will strangle him. Fight's probably going under 2.5. That sits at around minus 110. Costa by submission is where my confidence is at. He's fighting a one-dimensional guy in Lingo, and he's going to end up winning this fight by submission. Now, in the most confident pick section, I'll bring up the next one, which is going to be the preacher's daughter, Holm, who's sitting at around minus 140 as the favorite in this fight. Yes, she's fighting Bueno Silva, who I actually really respect her game. She's got some dangerous striking, nasty body hook. She's quick with her kicks. She, is beating up Alina Landsberg, who's literally just going to go backwards and let you tee off on her. If you start throwing shots and pressuring Bueno Silva, I think she's going to struggle. And also there's going to be takedown opportunities for Holm that open up. I'm riding the Holm train against these, more back end top 15 contenders until the wheels fall off. Holm for the win. Minus 143. Maybe it's now. Maybe it's done for Holly. Maybe this is her last fight and it's over with. She looks terrible. But come on. She's running through lesser girls. And it's not that Bueno Silva is not good. Bueno Silva is good. She deserves to be in the top 15. But Holm is Holm. I think she's going to be physically stronger. She's better in the clinch. She's got better takedowns. She's better on top. She is the better pure kickboxer of the two. Holm to win. And she's also proven she can go 5 rounds, time in and time out. Bueno Silva hasn't been that long, and I'm thinking the gas tank might dwindle late. Moneyline Holm is not bad around minus 140. Looking at Holm winning by a decision, plus 120. But it won't blow my mind if in the 4th or 5th round, Bueno Silva is really tired and Holm finishes her with ground and pound. A Holm TKO at plus 550 doesn't seem right to me. I could see a gassed Bueno Silva at the end of the 3rd. She's going into the 4th. Holly lands a takedown. She secures top. And if she really wants to make a claim to fight for a title again, Holm needs an impressive win. A decision is fine, and it'll keep her, in the talks, kind of. But if she actually wants to get in the mix again and maybe be considered to fight, a Juliana Pena, she already beat Raquel Pennington twice, but maybe Pennington, if she somehow beats Pena, she needs a finish here. I'm going to say Holm by TKO is sneaky at plus 550. I actually wouldn't even call it a Hail Mary. I think it's a real possibility that a ground and pound finish happens for Holm here. So give me Holm with high confidence. I think she's winning this fight here. She's one of the most confident picks on the card. And that'll send us into the next segment, which is going to be my favorite underdogs of the night. Now, one of them is actually kind of flip-flopping as a dog. It's an even money line. Then the other is a true dog. So let's first talk Albert Duraev, who is a real deal underdog at plus 134. And then also it's Francisco Prado, who I'm seeing at, close to minus 102, but it's flipping to like minus 122. So it depends where you're at. You can find him as a dog or a slight favorite. I'm still including him in the section. Duraev will be first what we talk about because he's the legit dog, plus 134. And I've said this throughout the week that I expected Duraev to be a minus 150 or more favorite in this fight. And then I saw that he was plus money. So I was like, yeah, that's a great underdog. And I think maybe a lot of people thought he'd be the dog lock of the week. I feel like he's still a solid play. I think he's going to beat Jun Young Park. He's the better wrestler of the two. Park is probably the better boxer, but Duraev has a decent kickboxing game. I think he's more athletic, and when he does get a hold of Park, even if Park's able to defend, I see smothering attack against the cage, especially in the small cage. Park is not going to put Duraev on his back, and Park lately is able to dominate fights using his wrestling game, which is pretty solid. He's got a decent wrestling game, but not at Duraev level. So I think Albert Duraev probably to pull it off by a late submission, which I guess at this point might be a bit of a hot take. Duraev by sub is plus 400. I definitely think there's a chance he could strangle a Jun Young Park. Now, does he go out there and grind a decision? It would not blow my mind. It probably would blow nobody's mind. It's maybe for a lot of you, if you are picking Duraev, you can let me know in the comments, an expected method of victory for you guys. But instead, I'm going to go with Albert Duraev. I'm going to say submission, plus 400, but the money line is obviously way better to play than trying to attack a sub prop line. So give me Albert Duraev as a dog. Francisco Prado is an even money line, but hey, I'm including him in it. I don't care. He's here. He's in the favorite dog section because right now he's just flipping. Look, he's minus 107 right now. I guess you guys can't see it, but it's minus 107 right now. I'm looking at the lines flip-flopping all over the place. It's an even money fight. I'm putting him in the favorite dog section. Prado is going to chin Automana Zaitar. Ottoman Amir Khan Zaitar. He has that Amir Khan chin, I believe. I don't know. The way he got slept by Frivola, walked into a shot. He fights very aggressively, and it's really fun to watch. But he's at, legit size and reach disadvantage here with Prado. He's also the older guy by over a decade. Just got brutally knocked out last time out. Prado made his UFC debut and lost to Jamie Malarkey, but he's still mad young at 21. I think Azaitar is going to look to bring fire to Prado. Could definitely get caught. Now, maybe Azaitar actually ends up being gun shy, and then Prado goes off on him and drops him. I just see a Prado KO. I see an under 2.5, minus 205 for that under. Prado to win by knockout is where my confidence is at. I do believe that's going to happen. That's around plus 175. Prado for the victory. They'll meet, I believe, in the center. Even though Azaitar maybe early he's gun shy, but his style is blitzing, aggressiveness, heavy punches. He's a dangerous guy that hits hard and he throws everything into his shots. And I just see Prado countering him and hurting him. So give me Francisco Prado for knockout. I think that he's a good even money / underdog play. And this section is going to lead us into the lock of the week.
Fighting out of Baltimore, Maryland, Top Gun Tucker.
Underdog lock of the week. It's Tucker Lutz to get the win. I think that he's going to beat Melsik Baghdasaryan. He's an experienced MMA fighter, 12 wins, 3 losses as a pro, unbeaten 8-0 amateur. Melsik Baghdasaryan is also 2 years older than Tucker Lutz, and he has less fights than him. We saw in Baghdasaryan's last fight him get submitted by Josh Kulabeo in a fight that he was winning. He was dominating Kulabeo in the striking department because Melsik Baghdasaryan is such a slick kickboxer. You look at that stand-up and you're like, holy shit, and I see how a lot of people will fall in love with that stand-up and pick him over Tucker Lutz, who is a gritty MMA fighter. He's got good pressure. He's a physically strong guy. He does have takedowns and control on top. Even though his takedowns are getting defended against Daniel Pineda, Melsik Baghdasaryan is not a Daniel Pineda. He's slicker in the striking, but he's not nearly as well-versed. So I'm looking at this matchup, and I'm like, Tucker Lutz is a money underdog. He's sitting around plus 180 as an underdog here. Baghdasaryan the favorite at around minus 210. I do believe Tucker Lutz knows that Baghdasaryan is going to be the slicker striker from distance. He's not stupid. He's going to have a game plan here. He needs to strike slightly, but more striking to engage the clinch. Pressure Baghdasaryan against the cage. Guys, we are at the UFC Apex. The 25-foot octagon is in a favor of Tucker Lutz. If we were in the 30-foot octagon, maybe we can make a claim. Oh, Baghdasaryan's going to be styling on him and moving all night. Well, he's going to be backed up in just a couple of steps towards that cage, and that's where Lutz is going to shine. I want to see Tucker Lutz clinch the hell out of him. Wear on him, tire him out. Baghdasaryan in the second round slows down, and you can take him down too. He's going to be on his back. And then when Tucker Lutz is on top, he's going to be wearing on Baghdasaryan. Baghdasaryan will give his back up to look to stand. Tucker Lutz will jump the back, and I do believe rear naked strangle, submission win for Tucker Lutz. That is the side I'm on. That is the underdog lock, and I have not felt this good about an underdog lock, honestly, in a long fucking time. In a while. It's been a month or two. It's been a minute. And I feel like Tucker Lutz is our guy. He's getting it done. I'm riding with Tucker Lutz with confidence. I see a clear skill set for him and an opportunity for him to win. Lutz is plus 700 by submission, too. I don't think submission's impossible at all. I see Baghdasaryan get worn on in the second and third round, fatigued, and then Tucker Lutz to strangle him. So give me Tucker Lutz, the underdog lock of the week, plus 700, win by submission, a good little sprinkle to add on top of it too. And damn, I'm excited as hell about the lock this week. More than any lock I've been for the past several weeks. I'm ready for this one, and it's hitting. I'm feeling confident as hell about this one with Tucker Lutz here. Let's get to the next segment. Let's talk a little bit about some, prop / value bets. I'm going to bring up Norma Dumont. I don't think she's a horrible money line at minus 140. And Chelsea Chandler plus 120 underdog. Looking at this, Norma Dumont by decision. She's the decision queen. It's plus 105. She's probably getting a decision. But hey, that over is also a probably surefire casher at minus 240. These ladies are most likely going long. Dumont doesn't necessarily look for the finish. Chelsea Chandler, in my opinion, is just too raw to really pick with any sense of confidence. Now, I also want to bring up Evan Elder, who is a pick to win. You know, could have been considered for the most confident pick section, but unfortunately it wasn't here. I did want to look at Elder to win by TKO. It sits at plus 140. I do think he gets a second or third round TKO of Genaro Valdez. And also, there's more to it. It's the fight between Terrence McKinney and Nazim Sadykhov. A sneaky play here. It's plus 150. Now, I know that McKinney comes out like a savage. He throws heat, and Nazim Sadykhov can strike too and land with damage and danger. Plus 150, though? I think that's a missed mark. I think there's a real chance that these guys are going into the later stages of this fight. Curious what Sadykhov by decision is sitting at this moment, plus 450. I do think Sadykhov has a real chance to win by decision. Over 1.5 rounds at plus 150 is a sneaky play there. Obviously, we're used to McKinney finishing fights early, but Sadykhov is a pretty technical guy and dangerous. Fun as hell matchup. Those are some of the props / value bets that I like on this card that I wanted to bring up. And I do want to jump to the fame section, the fan favorite section, the parlays to play. If you guys are watching and enjoying, make sure you smash that like button. I really appreciate everybody for supporting the channel as we close in on 20,000 subscribers. All right, let's get into the first of the parlays. I'm going to call it safety first. Okay? We're going to have our seatbelt on for this one, which I know it's not going to get you all nearly as excited. We'll have our seatbelts on, and we're going to pick winners that have clear advantages over their opponents, and I believe are going to happen. I think this happens here. Plus 121, Jack Della, Quilziel Costa, and Azat Maxim. Confident picks for me. Now, I also believe that Holly Holm, for some reason, there she is. Let's have minus 175 here. You know, it could be something to consider if you want to ride with a lot of the confident picks here. I do think Holly Holm's got a real chance to win in that fight as well. And then, you know, with women's fights, we tend to see them going on the longer side. If you went over here, plus 365, you know, just something to consider. Not necessarily saying that's my favorite. The 3-fighter play was actually the one I was just supposed to bring up there. But you guys know how it goes with the parlay section. Sometimes I get a little bit carried away. Now, I also want to bring up a savage play, which is going to feature Tucker Lutz with the side of Melquiziel Costa, which sits at plus 260 for these two fighters here. Now, if you don't like Melquiziel Costa, and I know there'll be a few that don't, I think Maxim should probably win, and Jack Della plus 254. And if you took Maxim out of there, you're getting only plus 183. But this is probably going to happen, though, at plus 183. I feel real good about it. Holly Holm, JDM, Tucker Lutz, plus 344, and then adding to your slate, let's say you put that over back in, the over 2.5, plus 495, nearly plus 500 money. Definitely a decent little parlay to consider. Now, I got more, though. I got value. Ooh, this one's sweet. I like this one a ton. We got Tucker Lutz, right? We got Melquiziel Costa, and we got Francisco Prado for plus 587. This is badass. I like this one a lot here at plus 587. For the valuehood to likelihood, I think it's high. These two is good too at nearly plus 400. I'm liking some parlays, man. I'm liking this week overall. You guys can tell I'm enthusiastic as hell. I feel great about this week. All right. What is the next one? All right, I got it right here in front of me. Holly Holm, okay, with Norma Dumont. Ladies parlay on the main card. You confident you can hit with some ladies? It's risky territory, but I do believe these two probably coming through. Plus 174 for Dumont and Holly Holm on the main card. I just think Chelsea Chandler is too raw, even though I really like her style. She's fun to watch. I'm a fan of Chelsea Chandler. If then you wanted to really go ballsy and add in Tucker Lutz here with the likes of Melquiziel Costa, plus 885. And if you're feeling like a top G, you put in plus 1780 for Francisco Prado on your slate too. Obviously, you guys know things can get absolutely crazy when we try to Mystic Mac it. But, like, don't tell me I'm out of my mind for thinking that all of these could end up hitting. Now, maybe Norma Dumont's the one that shits the bed for you and you leave her out. Maybe Melquiziel Costa is too unproven. You don't know about it. Maybe Francisco Prado. You're not sure. Holly Holm, Tucker Lutz, Jack Della Maddalena, Azat Maxim. It comes back to that one. I think it's a damn good one. I think it's going to end up happening. This card's solid, and I think there's some good bets to place on it, guys, and I'm excited as hell for it. This has probably been my most fun I've had, like, digging into the bets in, like, several weeks. Like, I feel really great about UFC Vegas 77, and I'm hype as hell for Tucker Lutz. Listen, the locks, like, last week, I rode with a favorite last week in Brandon Moreno, and he lost to Alexandre Pantoja, and it fucked with my head a little bit for, you know, like, on the stream when I was watching. But you know what? He did deserve to lose that fight. Pantoja gets my respect. This week, I really sat down, and I feel like I saw some things, and I'm fixing some potential past mistakes, and I think that's why I landed on Tucker Lutz. And I said, you know what? I don't want to lock a favorite. The goal is to lock in underdog. At the end of the day, I could say the lock of the card, Jack Della Maddalena, and I'd be right probably every damn week doing shit like that. But no, we're going for the dog. We're going for Tucker Lutz, and he's a dog that I feel very good about. I like the more experienced MMA fighter over the kickboxer. So hell yeah, I'm excited for this card. I'll be live for the entire thing. Card starts, I believe, at 7 p.m. Eastern time, so make sure to tune into the Fight Companion. Much love to the people. I appreciate you all tuning in to the show consistently. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and turn those post notifications on too. If you want to see all my content, because I don't just drop the betting breakdowns and the picks. I've been dropping news reactions too. Make sure you turn those post notifications from personalized to all. I appreciate you all. Smash the likes here. Let me know in the comments what you think, especially of the Underdog Lock of the Week. And throw me your Underdog Lock of the Week too. Make sure you drop a W in the chat also if you have nothing to say. I appreciate you all tuning in, and I will see everybody in the next one. Peace, guys.